When I logged back into the game, I knew I had to cut down on my inventory. I still had 2 more maps to explore. I didn't want to be out of inventory space if I found something good. So I placed one of the chests and left the sand, sandstone, and other bits I cared less about. I could have thrown them on the floor, but I may want some of these items for the Trophy Tower Museum. I don't know, I sometimes hesitate to throw away stuff in real life too. With slightly lighter pockets, I resumed my trek through the desert. The south map is done. Time for the southwest map. It was on this map that I found an ocean. Good thing I brought my boat. I was investigating the southernmost border when I spotted a shipwreck. I navigated to the nearest shore and started crafting doors because I forgot that doors can be waterlogged now. Would you like to guess what happens within the next minute? Yeah, not one of my prouder moments. Anyway, this boat surprised me. It appeared to be mostly intact, constructed from birch and oak. Where had these travelers come from? Where were they going? What happened to them? And most importantly, how could I get to their precious cargo? I was struggling to figure out how to investigate the wreck when I realized there was a village directly west. Perhaps that was the doomed ship's destination? Night had fallen by the time I tired of failing at investigating the ship, so I decided to head to the easier-to-traverse village. I don't know if I've ever had to climb this sort of tower before. Prior to this world, I usually didn't encounter desert villages, but they seem to be super common in this seed. I at least got some bread as a reward for climbing all of those stairs. It was strange. My reaction to the first village I saw in this world had been unease, discomfort. But looking down from the top of the tower over this empty town, I just felt alone. I made my way back down the steps. Maybe I'd find something cool, enough to distract myself anyway. A lectern! Since I don't have a fast source of leather, this is incredibly valuable. And books! This just gets better and better. I grabbed all of them, of course. I didn't find much else other than more beds, but that was enough to keep me going. I had failed miserably at trying to retrieve the ship's treasures, but I'd have to come back here for the beds anyway. I could always try the shipwreck again when I came back then. I thought about taking the bell, but since my inventory was almost full, I settled on hitting it once. Oh, an ice biome. That's cool. Next morning, I set the boat down and made my way speedily north. At least, that was the plan. I don't think I'll be getting any awards for ice boating anytime soon. Oh good, back to normal boating. And now the southwest map is done. Time for the west. It was here that I encountered a birch forest. Was this region the sunken ship's origin? Or at least the origin of its materials? While following this river, I spotted not 1, not 2 or 3, but 5 4-block-high sugar canes, all within render distance. Aren't these supposed to be rare? To the northeast of that section, I found this lovely plains biome with 1 large oak tree. If I wasn't already settled in my house, this would be a nice place to build. I thought I was hearing noises despite knowing that I was alone, so I decided to sleep. It was dark in the forest anyway. Next morning, I continued my trek to fill in the west map and return home. And that wraps up the west map. Time to go home. Past the bugged acacia. Home, sweet home. Time to incorporate my haul into the house. I placed the lectern in my room. I'll make it into a proper desk later. I would, in fact, not make it into a proper desk this week. That's what I get for trusting future me. I used the 2 chests I had left from the desert temple to make the fuel hoppers. Having that finished is a relief. Why am I putting the TNT with the nether stuff? Because I'll be using it for netherite mining. If I'm decorating my bedroom, then it's time. The cornflower from day one. A flower pot for my cornflower would be nice. It is done. I left the golden apples and gold in the food barrels. Speaking of food, I then tried farming more stew ingredients, but quickly ran out of bone meal. Maybe it would be worthwhile to make a semi-automatic farm after all. Okay, why? Why was that necessary? Why? 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 The next morning I made an obscene amount of stew. This should last a while. I then realized that I should probably keep the beds and bed materials in the nether storage area as well. Also the gunpowder. I'll probably use it for fireworks instead of TNT, but this location should be easy to remember. Moving these will help clean up my lawn a little bit too. I returned the west, southwest, and south maps to the map barrel, and started planning my journey to fill in the other 5 surrounding maps. 1 bowl of suspicious stew? Check. A bunch of paper? Check. 5 locator maps? Check. 1 cartography table? Check. Bed, wood, and bread? Check, check, and check. And so I made my way north to start filling in the north and northwest maps. North map made. Time to enlarge the northwest map. Wait, what's in the lower left of the map? How does this keep happening? There wasn't anything particularly noteworthy, though I did get another book and some bread to top off my stack. I also saw this terracotta, but I didn't really feel I could use it anywhere, so I left it behind. Ooh, more sea pickles for the pond. Next morning I discovered a swamp, so there would have been a mushroom-rich biome nearby after all. I'm still glad I went to the nether, though. Orchids! They are blue, I need them. Huh. A 4-block sugarcane that goes through a tree. That's a first for this world. There was a mountain on the edge of the swamp. I'd have to figure out a path to climb. I quickly downed some bread and made my way up. Ah, finally. There was some snow, but not much else of interest. This section almost looks like a chunk error. I had explored the top of the mountain and was starting to look for a way down when I spotted it, a desert temple, partially buried in the side of the mountain. Unfortunately, most of the mountain's side was fairly steep. Honestly, I'm kind of dreading the new mountain generation in 1.17. Eventually, I found a safe way down, though. I ended up losing half a heart anyway. Whoops. I again made my way down, but if you've seen the title of this video, you can probably predict what I found. No chests. None. I mean, I could still grab the TNT for netherite mining, but I was hoping for some books. A golden apple? Emeralds? String? Bones? Anything. Anything but nothing. Well, anyway, I can't expect to get everything I want. A little later, I found another desert temple on the north map. I couldn't believe I'd found another one so quickly. I was so excited to see what treasures this one had. Once again, the only thing waiting for me was more TNT. I mean, I shouldn't complain. TNT is useful. It'll help me get netherite that much faster. Besides, I wouldn't have had enough inventory space for 2 temples anyway. Hold on, is this the same forest I wandered through on day 6? It is, because those are the plains, which lead to mountains. What's up with that red dot in the river? It doesn't look exactly like lava. I was on my way to investigate when it started to rain. Why does this keep happening when I'm trying to travel? But I found the source of the red dot, a ruined portal, and it wasn't completely disappointing like the temples either. I got some pants, and another shiny axe. I took all of the contents, of course. This portal also had a 4-block sugarcane next to it, so that was nice. I had to follow the river anyway to fill in the map, so I figured I could try to fish and walk at the same time. It's called time management. I mostly just caught more cod and salmon, which I then ate to free up the inventory space. But then I finally got something exciting. Leather! I could make one item frame for my map wall. North map is done. Time for the northeast. And, of course, as soon as I find an ocean, the rain decides to stop. I sure hope I'm not missing more shipwrecks because of doing this at night. Fun fact, while reviewing the footage, I think I saw something underwater here, so I will be back. Next day, I spotted this neat-looking hole in the mountain. Not sure what I would build here, but it looks neat. If you have a suggestion, please leave it in the comments below. I then decided that I could start the east map while finishing the northeast one. Another half a heart. How do I keep doing this? Ah, the portal from day 7. And the desert village from that day too. Delightful. Finally, the southeast map. It was here that I discovered a coral reef. I would be able to farm sea pickles if I wanted to. I may want to try getting a conduit at some point. Yet another 4-block sugarcane on this shore. With the last of the 8 surrounding maps completely filled, I could begin my trek home. It also appeared to be raining, so I had extra incentive to hurry home. I got to pass the tower on my way. Maybe I'll get to work on renovating that next week. Ah, home again. Of course I started fishing. Ooh, a faucet for my kitchen sink. A lily pad. Nice. Inventory space is running low, so I'll just install this real quick. Ah, if only real-life plumbing were so easy. The rain stopped before I could get anything else exciting. I did the usual chore of putting the fishing items where they belonged, and placed the TNT in the barrel. I'm still a little disappointed. But there we go. Map wall is now started. And I have labeled the barrels in this room. But that's all I have time for this week. Until next time, take care.